Hello, and welcome back to Unchained RC. And this is part 2 of building your Losi XE diff, or rebuilding, I should say. So I've got the part in. Now, come to find out that it was not the gasket that was busted. So if you can look right here on those two little pieces, you'll just barely be able to see in this video crap. This camera sucks. So we'll try. That's definitely not going to catch it either. Son of a gun. I need better cameras. But either way, you can barely see. There we go. You see the fucking crack right there on the top. On that one next to my thumb. Top thumb. But that thing is cracked. This one is good. Let's get this built and installed. And the tools that we're going to need today to do it, which of course I have spoofed everywhere. It's going to be the forceps, or hemostats, I should say, hemostat. You need the hemostat first and foremost. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the little clear rubber seal that goes in there. So we're going to pop that little bad boy in. Some people will grease this up a little bit ahead of time. I prefer not to because I don't want grease all over my fingers. The oil will work its way, or I should say the diff lube will work its way to where it needs to be to seal itself in here good. I like to push this down a little bit on the edges just to make sure it's in. Make sure you put your bearing on the outside, flange towards the housing. Remember, flange towards the housing. Forget, you're going to have to take the whole thing apart again. And if you've already built this, that's a major bummer, dude. A major bummer. All right. So I'm pushing the O-ring down into place after sliding through the out drive. Okay. Then I'm going to place the washer that goes over that on the inside. And here is where your hemostats come into play. Get a hold of the little bugger, clamp it onto it, look in here and find where the hole is that it goes, and slide that bad boy through. Make sure you turn it. Once you find the hole, make sure you turn it towards one of these open slots so it's easier for you to get it in. All right. Without hemostats or friggin' tweezers. Tweezers are good, but they don't hold and clamp. These hold and clamp. You want that hold and clamp. Okay. And my lighting's off today. It's too blue. I apologize. But I've got a million things to do, and lighting right now is the last thing in my mind. Giving you guys this quick little tutorial on this is the first thing I want to get done. So then we're going to take the gear. We're going to drop that gear right onto the outside of it, and boom, that side is together. Now, the kit that I purchased came with these plastic ones to hold the spider gears in. I was conflicted because with these, I'll have lower rotating mass, which means that center diff will be lighter, but not as strong. So I said, screw it. And I'm going to go with the original metal ones that came in the kit. So now I need to get all these pieces together. It's two of those. All right. Okay. So now we're going to get the spider gears assembled. Now, if you look here on each one of these, there's a little indentation. You see that indentation? That's where the other bar is going to go on top of in the same type of orientation right into it. Boom. Right across the top. Good thing is all this stuff is magnetized since it's been in my magnet stuff. See how they just fit together like that? Remember, that's very important. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, why aren't the little hold pieces, hold this, I guess this would actually be considered a bearing for a lack of a better word. Why aren't the side bearings going all the way down into the slot the way they should be? Well, you don't have it together right. That's why, bud. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put the gears on here facing each other inwards. Make your life easier. Put them in like that. Make sure you grab one of those. I apologize. Grab one of the bearings. Grab one of the bearings. Make sure, once again, that little slot is up top, boys and girls. All right. Pull it apart. Oh, see, and it turned on me a little bit. There we go. and you're just going to drop it right into place. And the gear will force these other two gears into the right position. No need to trip out. So then we're going to do this whole process over again. Okay, I'm going to grab the two bearings that go on the outside. We're going to grab the bar, keeping in mind where that slot is, because we're going to need to put that slot onto the other slot. And I said slot. Watch your filthy mind. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go play the slots, Butthead. I don't know if you guys remember that episode of Beavis and Butthead, but he said a different word. He didn't say slots. He said, whoa, there's a bunch of slots in Vegas? Let's go, dude. Oh, come on. So anyways, there we go. So now I've got the slot down so it can fit right into the slot on this one. I'm just going to hold it right over and just drop it in and let it kind of do its thing. Spread this out a little bit and boop, once it drops. Oh, well, I screwed up. I didn't put it in far enough. Hold on, hold on. There we go. And bam, your diff is all together. That's it for the most part. Now, over here, I've had this pre-assembled. I'm going to take it apart, but it's the same way in here. All it is the pin, the washer, and then the rubber. You know, actually, I do have to disassemble it because I want to put in a new seal. I'm not rebuilding my diff and not putting a new seal in. There's the old seal, which is red. The new one is clear. Plus, I got to put that outer bearing on anyways. Why is it that this thing wants to never quite just slide on? The bearing on this metal, on the metal spur gear, doesn't always want to just go on easy. There we go. Now it's on there. Got to kind of pop it on. So now I'm going to put in that little clear seal. I'm going to hold my thumb over it to hold it into place, allow it to pop through a little bit. Then I grab the forceps. You can use whatever you have, an Allen wrench or something. Just kind of hold it in place and push that on up in. Grab your washer, drop your washer back on there. Got your washer on. And then grab that little pin. Grab the gear. Make sure that they align up on the little T-bar. Boom, she is together. Get your gasket. Gasket over, get that all ready to be used. And I literally dropped everything out of the gear. No one, did you guys watch this and no one told me? Really? You guys were watching this fall out when I did it and no one said anything. Thanks. Oh, wait, we're not live. All right, so now here comes the fun part of trying to turn this all back over and drop it all back in. But it's fairly easy. The gear puts everything and forces it all out. Kind of spread it out with your hand a little bit. Look at that, pops right back in. That quick, that easy. See it move. I want to make everything come out. All right, now comes the fun part of adding the diff fluid. You only want to add the diff fluid, and you got to let it really get in. This stuff is thick, really, really thick. And I apologize if I've done any of this off camera on accident. Once again, I am not a professional in any shape, form, or fashion. There we go. Oh, wait, now I've adjusted. Oh, now we're crystal. This whole time we haven't even been in focus. Looking like it's 1080 or 640p or some shit. Let's go. Come on. You don't want to add too much diff fluid either, but you want to make sure you get it in there and you get plenty. I like to let it sit. This stuff is so freaking thick, man. It's just like, you can see the string of it on the side. And these things hold more than you would think of oil too, by the way. I was quite surprised. Look at that long, thick string of this stuff. Just stringy, stringy, stringy. I think I'm about full, boys and girls. I think that looks maybe just a... You know what? I think I like where we're at. I think that's absolutely good. And I am not going to mess with it. Oh. Okay. Let's take the gasket. It's a gasket over the 4 holes. It's got brand new diff screws, so I'm going to use the brand new diff screws. Oh, shit. I dropped the spider gear. Oh, crap. Here we go. So, once again, I am not a professional. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this grease on here to help hold that gear on, and it will help hold the gear on. This stuff is sticky, buddy. Now I've got oil on top of the whatchamacallit, and I don't want that, so now I'm going to use a new one, and I'll clean this one later. Try this over again. Okay. Putting down the new seal, the new gasket, I should say. Keep trying to call it a seal. I don't know why. And then we're going to place the top on. Trying not to move the gaskets around. There we go. I like to do all this stuff by hand. Why isn't that going in? And that's my other question. There we go. Oh, this is brand new. I forgot I got to create the freaking thread. All right. Okay. Boys and girls, be highly careful using a power tool to do this, especially on a sensitive part like your center differential. You strip this, you're done. Notice I'm stopping before I put the screws all the way in. I will be hand tightening them. All right, so let's hand tighten this. You just want these things to go in snug. You're not trying to friggin'... Come on. There we go. And that is your rebuilt Losi 8 XTE RTR diff, done quickly and easily on your rebuild. This is part 2. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you found this informative. I hope that today finds an easy path for you, and stay blessed. I appreciate you stopping by. My name's Richard. This is Unchained RC. Have a great day.